Well, this is a very cute looking car, isn't it? Well, this is the new Citroen eC3, and as the name suggests, it's all electric. They also have the ICE and also a hybrid version as well. When it comes to electric cars, we're always asking for cars that are affordable and also practical. With this one, Citroen wants you to be cool, be happy, feel good, and just have fun. But does it embody all those things though? Let's find out. So over on the front, you see some design cue from the Citroen eC3, so the concept car that we looked at a while ago. So we're talking about this big logo on the front. So this new logo with a chevron and the big oval shaped surrounding it. We've got the piano black bold front as well. And I love this silver contrasting colors with the black and the red. I think it looks good. It suits the car. And then we move on to the headlights as well and just the lighting area. We get three elements. So we've got two horizontal lines and one vertical as well, which is very distinctive to the Citroen eC3. It looks very good in terms of the design language across the range of cars available from Citroen today. So again, taking from the Citroen eC3 that we looked a while back. Remember at the start I was talking about having fun with the car and looking cool. Well, see this area here? You can also buy different inlets. So you can take this actual luminous color here, you can take this yellow thing, you can take it out and replace it with something else. I've seen some put a French flag there, for example. So just gives you a bit of fun element to do with the car. This actually has a gap that goes through that to direct air for the car, adding to its drag coefficient, so it makes it more efficient in the way that this is on the road. So yeah, we've got this boxy sort of look on the front, yet it looks really cool. And it gives you this high off the ground look in terms of feeling like a SUV on the road, yet it's a compact, small city car. And then as we move over to the side, we have 17-inch alloys and also Goodyear tire here for efficiency and grip as well. You got the black cladding to give you that rugged look again. And then we move over along. This is around 4.01 meters long. So it's nice and compact, making it very easy to park whenever you need to park in shopping centers, or if you just want to maneuver everywhere, it just makes it nice and easy to maneuver. It's not too wide, it's not too long. And then if I just switch sides a little bit, we get this little crease on the side as well. Not too much, nice and minimalist. And then to add to that SUV look, we get this roof rails on top as well, which is, I think it's cool. You got Citroen logo on there as well. And then we move over to the back, we get that slat again that you can remove and modify it to make it your own. So you can have, again, a French flag there if you wish to do so. And then we move over to the back again. The design language continues here. We've got the roof spoiler here, brake lights are there, window wiper on the back as well, thankfully. And then we've got the big bold Citroen logo again with this black piano black bar here. And then we'll look at the LED lights on the back again. We've got the two horizontal, one vertical there again. It looks very sharp and bold on the road. And as well as having that ground clearance when we look to the side, the same continues for the back as well. So when it comes to parking, when it comes to maneuvering everywhere, it's one of the easiest ones to do. One of the easier ones to do when it comes to being a city car that's meant to be practical as well. And then we look at the back as well. This is all plastic. You got your reverse sensors there as well. It's got reverse camera as well. Again, for the price point of around £22,000, you are getting a lot here for your money. When we open up the boot, nice and easy. We have 310 litres of boot space here. And one of my gripes or qualms with this is this big lip that we've got here, which makes it less easier or practical to fit or slide things in when you're shopping and so on and so forth. So it's still a decent space. And when you fold the seats back, which is 60-40 split, you're looking at up to 1,000, just over 1,000 litres of boot space when you fold the seats down. So again, it's still practical. It's not the most practical when it comes to this big lip that you got here, but 310 litres of boot space, I think, is a lot for what you're getting here. So again, you're getting a lot of car for your money here. Over in the back here, you get plenty of space, which is quite surprising for me. For such a small car, you are still getting plenty of knee room here, plenty of headroom as well. I'm about 5'11", so plenty of space for me. I can even tuck my feet underneath here, which is really good. The knee height as well is not too bad. So when you're sitting here for a long period of time, you're not going to feel achy or anything like that. One of the good things about this car is the way they've designed the seats. So these are very comfortable. They've added layers on here to make it softer. It's almost like having a mattress topper for your mattress at home, just to make it extra comfortable, especially for long rides as well. So it's really nice here. And you get little fun things around the car, like this little tab here that says be happy. On that side says feel good. On the front we have be cool. On that side says have fun. So those are the 4 pillars of things that they want you to feel when you get in this car and what you can do. Here we have 2 USB-C ports as well. And generally, I think it's spacious and it just feels really nice and comfortable here and cozy at the same time. So one thing that's missing here is the armrest. You get no armrest in the back, unfortunately, but it just means, again, you can fit a grown adult in the middle if you need to do so. But yeah, overall, really good amount of space here. Over in the front, the story continues. We have the advanced comfort seat here as well. So again, nice and comfortable. I think it's just above 10 millimeters of foam layer on this to make it even more comfortable. They've improved the side bolsters as well, so it keeps you in place as you're moving around corners and all that stuff. So generally, you feel really comfortable here. The steering wheel as well, it's got flat top and bottom, nice and compact. They call it Easy Drive or something like that. And the whole point of this is just to make it nice and easy and fun. And it gives you a sense of compactness when you start holding the steering, and it just feels really nice. We get 10.25-inch display here, which is nice and simple, nice and straightforward. They haven't put so much into it, but it supports Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And when I say they haven't put so much into it, they haven't overwhelmed you with so much settings and all that kind of stuff. You can still change your audio settings here, so you can adjust treble, bass, and so on, and even add extra bass boost if you want to do so. And the sound system sounds decent as well. It's not the best on the market, but I think it sounds decent. I also like the front here, the material that's been used here, this fabric material, looks really good. And then over here, they have something called the head-up display, but this is not your traditional head-up display as you know it. It's basically your instrument cluster that gives you all the information that you need to have while still being in your peripheral. So you're talking the battery life, the speed you're going at, the drive mode, the current speed limit on the road as well. And then a button on here allows you to change your driver assistance system. So you can have things like automatic high beam, you can have active safety brake, you can have speed change sound as well, driver attention alert. Again, you have a lot of safety equipment there to keep you nice and secure on the road. What's not so premium up front here though is all these plastic bits that they've got here. I don't know if that's going to stand the test of time, but that's something to bear in mind. You also have things like the steering that can be adjusted, so you can move it up and down, move it forwards and backwards if you need to do so to get as comfortable as you want to get. And also electronically controlled mirrors, but the seats aren't electronically controlled. It's still pretty much manual. So they have to save money somehow, some way, somehow. And then we also get manual control for your climate control here. You got heated seats. It comes in 2 trim levels, so you have Plus and Max. I believe this is the Max one because you get that heated seat option on here, which is good. And generally here, you got the gear shifter, which is basically just a little shifter here that we used to in Stellantis' cars when you've seen one, and also electronic handbrake there. And then you have a USB-C port here. Wireless charging is available as well, before I forget. 2 cup holders up front. And then there's a cubby hole here to store things like your keys or anything like that you want to store there. It also doubles up as your armrest, so you can slide it forwards, you can slide it backwards as well. Really nice. And generally, I think it's comfortable here. It feels really good. I've got no qualms with it at all. This piano black here will get fingerprinted very quickly, if that's a word, which means if you got OCD against stuff like that, you're gonna have to keep wiping it very quickly. They also have dotted around the car little Easter eggs here and there. So when you open the glove compartment here, for example, you are going to get the iconic cars since 1919. So you can see that as well. And then on the back window, when you open the boot, you can see the cock, the majestic cock of Citroen. I think they call it or something like that. Maybe it's a joke. I don't know. But you get that at the back as well, and the landscape as well on the back. I think it looks really cool to have those little elements here and there. But yeah, very straightforward, very easy. Visibility is great as well. I think there's no issues there at all. But generally, really, really nice up front as well. For the price point, keep that in mind. You are getting this wonderful setup. One thing I do find interesting as well, though, before we get onto the driving segment of this video, is the keys. So you still get your key like so. It's not one of those where this doesn't exist and it's just a fob or whatever. And there's no stop button or anything like that. You still have to plug in your keys and then turn it like it's an ICE car, which I find interesting. Let me know what you think. So how does this feel on the road? Well, let's get some stats out of the way. We have a 44 kilowatt hour battery in here, which will give you 199 miles on the WLTP. If it's going to do that in the real world, that's a different story that I can't tell you in this video, because I've only got like 3 hours or so just to experience how this drives. Top speed, 82 miles per hour, which isn't too shabby at all. 0 to 62 in 10 seconds, just over 10 seconds or so. This is 113 horsepower. So you got plenty of power to drive around town and embody those 4 things that I said. So feeling good, being happy, being cool, and just enjoying the ride. It's got all those things all in one, and it does exactly just that. Because when you look on the outside, I think it looks cool. When you get on the inside, you feel good as well. You feel cool driving this around, because I think it's nice and compact and it looks sharp as well. And when you talk about your bank account, this is going to be around £22,000 to start. So starting from £22,000. And when you look at what the manufacturers' competitors are doing right now, for example, Volkswagen have the ID2 and they have the ID Everything, or Everyone, sorry, that's coming out next year. That's going to cost around £22,000. But if you're looking for a car that can do decent amount of range and so on. It's already here. You don't have to wait for that long. Hyundai as well, or Hyundai, they've got theirs as well, which I think, again, is around about the same price. So now we're getting more options in terms of vehicles, electric vehicles that aren't too expensive, that are very affordable. With this, let's talk about the comfort, because now in this segment, they've brought over the comfort ride. So we're talking about that advanced comfort system with progressive hydraulic system. And basically what that means is it feels like you're riding on carpet. It's just very smooth. Even with these bumpy roads of the UK and crappy roads that we have here, it just feels really nice and comfortable. And then when we bring it back to driving in the city, where there's more potholes, more challenges when it comes to road surfaces, this handles it very well. This feels really good. So they've ticked that box when it comes to the comfort level. In terms of visibility, it ticks the box as well, because you're sitting kind of high up as if you are driving an SUV, and it's got a nice ground clearance to it as well. It's got a nice turning circle. And then when we talk about this steering, I think it feels nicely connected. It's just nice and precise. It's very agile and nimble, so you can throw around the corners and stuff as you wish to do so. Although, if you're going to be buying this to drive around cities, I don't think you're going to worry too much about stuff like that, but it is there if you need to do so. So in terms of power and how it drives, the dynamics, I think it does a really good job at handling the road ahead and also just being very dynamic. I think it does really well. It's not the fastest of all in terms of that, just over 10 seconds in terms of speed. It doesn't have plenty of torque as well. I think it's just over 124 Newton meters of torque or something like that. I'll leave all numbers on the screen just to make sure I'm not getting numbers wrong here. But it's just spot on in terms of city driving. It's not too much. They're not overly doing it. It's as if they know exactly what we want if we're going to be driving in the cities. And this is exactly it. And the price point just sums it up really nicely. But generally, I think it drives really well. It feels nice and comfortable. It's got plenty for the price tag that you're paying for it as well. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You know, it's got all the ingredients that you need for this car to be successful. So I think Citroen's going to sell this like hotcakes. It's going to do really well. When it comes to the road noise as well, it isn't too bad. You can still hear it. You got those 17-inch alloys trying to absorb as much in terms of those Goodyear tires. It's trying to absorb as much as those noise as possible, but I think it's decent. It's not too bad. And also the brakes, they're okay. Not the best of brakes I've seen or felt, rather. It feels like you need to give it a bit of push as well, harder push, to make sure that you come to a proper full stop if you need to do so. But it's not bad at all. But over to you though. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any questions, drop them there as well. I'll do my best to answer those questions. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.